How you doing, Ryan?
Fantastic, mate. How are you?
I'm all right. You had a good
Good
weekend,
stuff.
kid?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. I didn't have my lad, so I got stuck in on the Friday, as you do, and regretted it all the rest of the weekend. What about you?
Yeah, bang on, mate, bang on. Do you know while I've got you on, Ryan? Somebody asked me in an email, are you a Red Devil or a Bolton fan or
I'm
City?
a blue. I'm a bluey, mate. I'm a blue.
Are you an old main road jobber?
I am, mate. Yeah, I started in
In Shed.
1998.
Were it the
In
Shed
night.
they used to call it, or the Kirkstall Lane end or something?
What? Oh, what city's ground?
Yeah, well, no, there's main road, isn't there? What parts of ground is it? It's one, the two ends to it,
Platt
won't it?
Lane. Yeah, Platt. It was on there. Yeah, it was like a no. Did the Gene Kelly stand? It was like an open thing, mate. It was yeah. It was a train wreck. That I wasn't there though. Now it's a family stand, me mate. The quiet ends.
Do you remember that old dude who used to own it, who had a comb over that used to go up there, and it would pattern down in the middle? Do you remember him? Peter
Who?
Shreves.
No, I don't remember him. Nah, I remember when Franny Lee had it.
Yeah, he
Franny Lee
had it
had it
after
when
him,
I
didn't
was
he,
a kid.
Franny Lee, didn't he?
Yeah, that's when I started. That's when I started. Yeah,
Mm.
but nah, not a Red Devil, me mate. No chance.
No. You remember, do you remember when Colin Bell played for them, City? Oh, what a player he was, Colin Bell,
I
mate.
tell you, he was my nana's favourite. Actually, we've got loads of pictures all over my nana's house of
What will he
Colin
be
Bell,
worth today, him, Colin Bell?
mate.
God.
I mean, I wasn't lucky enough to watch him, but even like Franny Lee was unbelievable
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, we had some right players back then, mate.
Do you remember
Some
when
right
Alan
players.
Ball was manager?
I do. Yeah, he wasn't much good though, but he was a
We're going to
fantastic
walk
footballer.
to the trenches. Do you remember
He
it?
he,
To
he
the
was hey,
trenches.
he was an
Balling.
unbelievable footballer. Yeah, yeah. He's from
Sorry?
Bolton, him, isn't he?
Is he Bally? No, I don't
I
know.
think I think he's from Bolton. Yeah, there's an Alan Ball house in Bolton in quite a bad Farmworth it's called. And yeah, I'm pretty sure he's from Bolton.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
Uh, well, what do you think to the current state of play? I've just had Terry on. I'm going to get your
Yeah,
opinion.
tough fact to
What's,
follow that.
yeah, I want to, yeah, it is actually. He knows his stuff, doesn't he? Right,
Yeah,
before we get into the heavy stuff, I want to start with Callum Simpson. Obviously, he got the win, didn't he? He's a British
yeah.
Commonwealth European champion, highly ranked. Uh, what do you think to his performance overall? Do you think you should have got him out earlier, that guy, or no? What do you think?
No, I think the kid looked all right. He was
Yeah.
against. Yeah, he's going to struggle though. When he goes up in class, he don't use his length. Like, don't use his reach well at all. He seems to want to maraud forward, and when you're coming up against people of higher class, you'll yeah. Okay, I mean, I don't really know of any good Italian boxers these days, but when you're getting dropped twice by one and hurt the second time, it doesn't look very good, does it?
No. Uh, I don't think people are saying, oh, they're tight at weight and this and that. Well, move up to 175 then. He'd be used as a dishcloth, wouldn't he? So he
Mm.
can't move down to middleweight because that'd kill him. So he's in a tight situation, isn't he, really?
Mm.
Uh, he's obviously the most successful bouncer to come sorry, his most successful fighter to come out of Barnes along with Josh Wale. But
Mm-hmm.
do you see him winning a world title?
No.
No.
No, but I think he's good though. I think he's good for Barnsley in general. Like, hopeful, I've worked in Barnsley, like, Wanwell to be precise. I
One
used to
well,
work on,
one well.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I got an haircut there for the fiver once. It was madness. It looked like an haircut for the fiver, mate. But yeah, but no, they deserve something there. Like, I don't know, like, it's a tough place to live, and they deserve a good fighter from there who's going to represent them well. In fairness, I think that Simpson will, but they will get him a world title shot, but he'll be pressed, punished, and decisively beat at world level. Unfortunately,
Okay, let me just send you this before we talk about this. I'm going to send you pictures of Max's victory.
did he win?
Yeah, he won Max last night in
Come on,
Vatican
Max.
City in Italy. Uh, I think he's 4-1 now. Big Max out of a P. Dennis has. I spoke to Dennis when he says, "I'm just letting you know, Turkey Teeth, that I've changed Max's name to Hercules. And that's Max last night with his arm raised in Italy. And see what it says on his shorts?
What?
Hercules.
Oh no.
There's not a muscle on his body, but it's called
His
Hercules.
jab looks a lot better though on them pads. His
Yeah,
jab looks
hey,
a lot better.
listen. Big Ron were in corner. You can
Really?
imagine Big Ron in corner. Listen, listen to me, Max. This is what you need to do. This is what I showed Clinton and Jamie McDonnell. And they wouldn't listen to me at first, but when they did, they won world titles. I can imagine Max there taking it all in. But for me, Max is a very powerful kid. He's
Mm.
very strong. He deadlifts, squat, and bench press all as much as you want. But when you're carrying too much weight and your next birthday you're 38, it's hard, and it's hard enough, sport it is when you're 27,
Yeah.
28. And Max's problem is his battle with his demons when he gets home at night and Leona's there with an hot pot and Max is mopping it all up with half a loaf of bread. That's Max's
Yeah.
problem. Do you know what I mean? But other than that, he's willing to put the effort in. He's followed his dreams.
No, fair play
It's
to
not
him, mate.
about money. It's not about money to him because he's a wealthy young man. But he wants to follow his dreams, and that's good in it. But I just don't want him to get hurt. You know.
They'll know not to put him in with anyone.
Well, Dennis should do, and I hope that they're going to match him accordingly. But I'm hearing that they're hoping to get him in with Johnny Fisher because Johnny Fisher's on about coming back. But if he comes back, he'll be fragile. Him Fisher, they won't be able to just put him in with anybody. They'd have to put him in with a guaranteed win, and I think he'd have to start again basically and learn the fundamentals. You
Yeah, I
know.
agree with that. Yeah, I
This
agree with that.
is Moses Atoma, and look at the difference in class because one didn't box and one were playing rugby. Other one's been
Mm.
doing it all his life. That's the difference. Do you see what I'm
Yeah.
coming from?
Yeah. There's a natural rhythm to people who've been in the gym when they were younger and stuff.
Yeah.
I get you.
So Max, we'll have you
Yeah,
on.
well done, Max. Well done,
Max is
mate.
hoping to get on, but I've just spoke to Curtis Woodhouse this morning, and he said, "Look, if Max wants that smoke, Adrian King
That's
against Max."
nah. They shouldn't be doing that.
I've got some video footage here of Adrian King. Running up an hill. In fact, I'll not put it on actually because I asked Curtis yet. But and he looks like an athlete to say he's a big lad.
That's what I'm saying.
He can work and he
Ah,
held his own against Bacoli. I mean, I've been told in Billy Nelson's gym. I heard that off a Manchester trainer. So he's obviously he's one for the future. He might be a bit too much for Max, but if they want to get him Max a payday. Adrian King's there for you, Max. He's had as many fights as you. Let's get it on, even though you get along. That's what I say. You. There's a referee there if it's too much for Max. But it is what it is. But the
he
guy
gets
Max,
jibbed quick there, though,
yeah,
mate.
the guy Max has just beat. I'd do him myself. That Italian. I know I would. So as big as I am. And he's a lot bigger than me, that guy Max has beat, but I think I'd flog him. Because I think there's a lot of people got licenses, Ryan, that shouldn't be professional fighters in some countries. Joe,
Yeah, but even over here, mate. Jesus.
I'd flog him when I'm 55 in October. So, okay, Zelfa won the weekend.
Yeah,
Zelfa Barrier by knockout.
nice.
So
Who
good
was he
luck to
fighting?
Zelfa. Yeah, he looked really good. So he were in an 8 rounder, but he iced the
Was he?
kid. So good luck to Zelfa. Uh, and hopefully they can go on a run now, him and Joe G, now that Joe G's gym is flying. Uh, we'll get to the main talking point shortly, but we're going to skirt around it. Keep seeing things online. People keep sending me stuff. Billy Joe sausages, you know, the fat one from our.
Yeah.
He's on about changing his name to Billy Bunter. Well, old Bunter is shouting and bawling for the Eubank payday. Obviously, he's not going to get it because Eubank Ben's a signed deal in it for September 27th. But down the line, do you see Billy Joe sausages coming back?
We had this on Saturday, didn't we? And I
Yeah.
don't. Sorry, Friday it was. I
Yeah.
don't see that being
Well, it's gathering momentum
viable.
this morning on social media. Billy's come back. He's taking it serious this time.
Hey, listen, if he can get himself in good nick and not crash the weight, then go for it, Billy
Yeah.
Bunter. But I don't see it being vital. I don't see him. He didn't have the dedication when he was a world champ. He couldn't. You know, he got done for them for whatever it was that he got done for when he was fighting Andrade, and then went up to 12 stone.
You mean when he
Yeah,
were at Flex Ingles gym when he got busted
correct.
for a performance
Yeah,
enhancing drugs and got a 6 month ban? Isn't that right?
exactly,
The Flex.
exactly.
Adolfo is that way, Flex.
He looks pretty dreadful himself at the moment.
Who Flex?
He don't
Yeah,
look
well,
good.
he's got no to do, has he? Except train fat accountants and solicitors in his gym that he gets for free from the community and fund him. But they stopped amateurs training there, and I don't think is he training one pro or something. That's it. So why has he got keys to a gym? Do they think they fucking own Sheffield? Them lot give the keys to somebody else. They're queuing up for that gym. So if you can't have
Mm.
amateurs in the area, what's going on? They're all going to go to Chris Smedley's, to Grant Smith's, to Glyn Rhodes's, aren't they? If they're not going to go to his gym, so why has he got Flex? Why have you got keys to that gym? Or why won't you mate PC Gully from Main Street Nick Rotherham? Why don't he ask you the question on your channel? Why have you got a community-based gym with funding and you're not training any amateurs and you're only training one pro? What's going on there? Hand the keys in, Flex. There you go. Why can't anybody
Mm.
fucking just ask the question? Give somebody else a chance. They've had a good run. They've had it 49 years, that gym. You know what I
A
mean?
good call.
So there you
If you're
go.
not doing amateurs, I mean, the whole idea that it's being funded by a council
Yeah,
is completely negligible. Like, you want to have kids in a boxing gym.
exactly
What
right.
are they there for? Just to go and hit a
We're just
bike?
there to do interviews with Boxing King Media guy, that copper, and sponsor a free car from that BYD on Main Drag in Sheffield on
Mm,
dual carriageway. But it is what it is. Nobody's going to ask him, are they?
mm.
Nobody's going to ask him, but I will. And next time I see you in Meadow Hall, Flex, don't put your head down. Come over and speak to me. Don't be frightened. I'm only £165 kid. Don't be
Uh,
embarrassed if you've got that stupid body warmer on, Flex. We know you're sleeping it. Okay, right. Let's get down to the main course. Fabio Wardley. Do we like him, Ryan?
I was texting you and I couldn't believe that knockout, mate. But
We
I,
like Fabio, don't we?
he's,
See,
mate,
Fabio!
I thought he wanted out, and then he just doesn't go anywhere at
He's a
all.
roadman, Ryan. He's a
He's
roadman.
genuine, like he's genuinely an hard kid, like double hard. I don't know, mate. I don't. His legs seem poor though. Like he can't, like he don't dip his base at all. He doesn't seem to be able to move particularly well. I don't know whether he was carrying any injuries, but I'll tell you what, mate. He didn't even load up big time on that punch, and he
It was like Foreman doing more, wasn't it? It was just
yeah,
great,
yeah,
wasn't it?
just
Great. I
juggling,
couldn't believe it.
yeah. But he
I
needs to
nearly jumped
change.
out my skin.
Mate, I couldn't believe it. Like,
That's what we want to see. This is what we want.
this is it, mate. But
This is
that
what
Hooney
we
was
came
class.
for.
That
Hey,
Justice Hooney was he's
who's
brilliant,
it?
in mate. He's a really, really good fighter. Really good. Don't seem to have a lot of power, but is that Wardley's chin is that good though? That's what I think.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think Wardley's chin is. There's no way Joshua was taking that kind of an hiding for 10 rounds. No chance. I don't see not Bacoli, Dubois won't take that kind of an hiding for 10 rounds.
Quick,
I
wasn't
don't
it?
see
Quick.
anyone. Yeah,
Big
yeah,
Fraze smashed him up as well, didn't he? Let's have it right. In first
mm,
fight, didn't he? And they
yeah.
just kept going, didn't it? And I can't remember if I've told this story. I think I might have, but he's from Ipswich, but he had some beef with somebody in Norwich and they had a straightener and he turned up on his own, Wardley.
Did
And
he?
there were loads there in Norwich on his own, his Ipswich kid. He went down and filled this kid in, filled him in front of loads of people, got in his car and drove off. I mean, he don't need all these fair play men and this and that and call out videos. He just bowled up on his Todd. So I think he's made a sterner stuff. Obviously, people can be critical if it is performance, and he'll make adjustments. I'm hearing, but he just soldiered on, and he found a way, didn't he? He found a way. And I've got to tip my hat to that because white collar guys like that, everybody is a bad stigma, and he kind of like thinking where he's going to get found out in his next fight. He's going to get found out in his next fight. He's going to get found in his next fight, and he hasn't, has he? Really? Well, can you say he got found out? People can say, yeah, but I'm saying what? He's found his level. What? He's just knocked out an Olympian, another Olympian. Piss off.
Justice
That's
Uni
what
will win a
I
world
say. All they
title.
can do is knock guys out. If you're knocking guys out, who cares if you've lost rounds? Well, worry about 5 rounds down going into 10th.
A bit wider than that, you know,
Is it a
Park.
bit wider than that?
I give him the first round and nothing after.
Okay. Okay. Well, either way, it doesn't matter
Um,
now because the guy got lit up,
mate,
didn't he?
he pulled it out of the bag. Like I'm saying, I think Justice Uni will win a world title. He's
Yeah.
26 years of age. Yeah, I really do, mate. I think he's got every single tool that there is, and at 26 years of age, he can go and. I tell you what, as well, his corner were good because his corner were giving they were giving really like simple the right advice. I mean, he neglected it a little bit. That's what got him sparked out. And I was listening to Ben Davidson's advice, and I was thinking,
Ben
bruv,
Davidson,
why
Mr. Safety First.
you're overcomplicated. He was just saying things that were like, like when someone you'll have a friend who tries to overcomplicate and over articulate things to sound intelligent. That's what Ben Davison is, in my opinion. He tries to overcomplicate,
He's blinding
punching
us
someone in
with
the
in
head.
science, Ryan, isn't he?
Yeah, bang on,
That's what
mate.
he's doing. He's blinding us with science. He's doing something that Adam Booth did years ago. He's trying that move,
Yeah,
that Mr.
yeah.
Technical. And
Yeah, that's the
basically,
call.
boxing is just a simple sport. I remember years ago, Mark Tibbs flew out to Portugal. He took his missus out with him and his little lad. They went out to Portugal to meet up with the can man. And he had that Xavier had come on board. Dylan wanted him on board. They got out there and he
Yeah.
handed Mark Tibbs says, well, what's been going on then? How you been doing? He says, oh, we've been doing this, we've been doing that. And he handed Mark Tibbs some spreadsheets or something. Mark Tibbs went, what's this? Oh, it's spreadsheets for these little ladder runs they were doing. Like, Mark Tibbs went, yeah, just get on scales, Dillian. He went,
Simple.
oh, well, what are you doing here? You're 2 pound heavier than when I left. What you been doing? What you been doing for 6 weeks? You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and that's all Dennis used to say. Yeah, 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 whatever, Rhino. Just get on scales. There you go, Rhino. Collect your cards, you're done. And that's very simple, black and white. Boxing's a very, very simple sport.
Yeah.
Richard Woods once said to me, and Frotcher said this to me, Robin Reed. First rule of being a boxer. Go read what it says in the green book once you've given your license. You must stay fit all year round in case the phone rings. Right? This applies to Liam Cameron after he defended his Commonwealth belt with Dennis and phone rung to fight somebody, and it was 18 grand offer from Mick Hennessy to fight this kid. And Liam went, oh, well, I put 2 stone on. Dennis says, what, 2 stone in 5 days? You were 158 pound at weighing. Now you're like 180 odd. What's going on here? Read what it says on when you're a
Mm.
professional boxer, you get your license, and read what it says. You must stay fit all year round in case phone rings and all that. Keep on top of your weight, and that includes heavyweights as well, just because they don't need to make weight. But people think because they've just done a camp and that they need to go on a blowout. Go have a night out, don't you? You don't mean to say you need to go take
Eat
away
loads of shit.
every
Yeah.
night for 3 or 4 days and stuff like that.
Completely
So
agree.
there you go. And I think there's too much of that going on in the sport of boxing. But hey ho, so Fabio, where do you see him going now? Where do you see him going now, Ryan?
See, it's a tough. I'll ask you quick. Who would you have him in with next?
Well, I put him in with Zavar after Usyk smashed him up. Or if he beats Usyk, they're probably going to have to do a rematch, aren't they? But if Zavar gets smashed up by Usyk, and I believe he will do, because
Yeah.
you couldn't really give him around in that first fight, could you
He
really?
didn't win
Argue
one.
what? I mean, all they've got to cling on to that is Don Charles and his stupid, thick, novice, move around guy's son insulting Usyk and all that. Can you imagine them doing that to Ali? He wouldn't even have to answer the question, would it? Point I want to make is it's a joke, isn't it?
Of course it is. But that's a
So,
good fight though. Dubois
but I'd
versus
like to
Wardley.
see Dubois against him because what are they both about 95% KO ratio? So
I think
somebody's
that'd be a great
going to
fight.
get lit up, aren't they? Somebody's going to
Well,
get
Dubois will quit.
Hey,
Dubois will quit
if he
quicker than
keeps getting
Wardley.
touched up, he'll
He
quit. He
quit.
doesn't like being hit him, you know. He's a flat
No.
track bully, him, Dubois.
Yeah,
He
he is.
doesn't like being hit. Now, what happened in that first Usyk fight? I watched it last night. I watched that so-called low blow. Listen, if it were other way around and Bricktop were involved with Usyk and not Dubois, all these YouTubers won't be pushing that low blow. But that's all they've got to fucking cling on to. And
Mm.
Usyk's probably sat at home. I mean, if Usyk were that terrified of this big, massive puncher and Godzilla going to kill us all in our beds like Big Truck David Price, if Usyk were that frightened, he wouldn't have took the rematch. Usyk went, yeah, let's have a rematch and I'll get my belt back that I loaned him.
Yeah,
The paper chump, in Dubois. Is he a paper chump? Yes or no?
completely.
Right. Did he have the WBA regular by email and the IBF by email? Yes or no?
He won the WBA against Trevor Bryan,
Come on. Come on.
who's a great fighter. Don King promoted.
Look, he's a paper champ, isn't he?
Yeah,
He's
of course he
a
is.
full paper champ, right? So all this Don Charles nonsense done. All you've got to cling on to is that low blow, and it weren't a low blow. And your guy had the same 3 minutes 38 seconds as Usyk break, and he couldn't capitalise on it, and he was blowing out his arse. He needed that break just like Usyk did as well. Usyk would have carried on if the referee had told him to. He milked it, and quite rightly so. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? If you've been
very
punched
right.
in nuts. So I don't want to. It's gone from the brick top's gone from it were a low blow. Weren't a low blow to. Have you noticed now they're coming up to fight? Well, it were borderline.
Yeah,
Get gone with your borderline. It were low. You can see it. They've done a technical breakdowns. Loads of channels have done it. Atman nailed it. It were low, but they're not going to have it, are they? So that's all they've got to cling on to. I see him quitting even earlier. I see him being mesmerised, me, but
seventh.
they're thinking, yeah, he's had Joshua twice, Fury twice, and Dubois, Chisora, Bellew, Joyce has done all them. Joyce at WBSS won it over 5 rounds.
Yeah,
We know Edgius. That's technically like a pro fight. What I want to make is Usyk will make short work of him, but Bricktop's putting it about and the narrative. Have you noticed the narrative on Talksport from the Bricktop men? Jug Ears Oliver, Judge Jordan, the Gad, and all that. Well, it's Dubois' time. Look at the run he's been on. Right, let me just stop everybody there. Let's just stop. Right, who's he beat since? Ergovic? Miller, Ergovic, a plank of wood, right?
mm.
Miller, 20 what, 4 stone, big fat man, blubber man. And Joshua, who's scared of his own shadow, looked frightened to death going in ring. It's hardly roadman killers, is it? And then we look at like Parker's 6 wins since Joyce made him quit. They're not roadman killers. They're all old shot fighters, fat men. But these YouTubers, because they're hanging out at back of promoters, are told to go out there and put Parker's the most dangerous guy out there and Dubois. No, they're fucking not. Show me their
Mm-hmm.
resumes, what they have done. What have they done for me lately? They're beating fat old men. That's it. And shot men like Wilder, Zhang,
Completely agree.
McCauley, 22.5 stone, Miller, a blubber man, obese. Do you know what I mean? It's
Mm.
great. Joshua frightened of his own shadow. Ergovic, a plank of wood, big stiff like Tom Dallas. Do you see where I'm coming from? People
Completely
are
agree.
losing their minds over it. These YouTubers are not asking proper questions. These guys are not beating elite men. They're getting wins over men that should be, in olden days, they'd be top 30 men.
Not
Miller's a
even that.
journeyman with a big mouth on social media. He's another Dylan White.
Yeah, Miller's like one of those
Help me,
big,
Ryan. Ryan,
massive
help
women,
me.
mate.
Help me, Ryan. I need help.
There's nothing I can do, mate. I mean, the only thing we can. What do you do, though? Like, how do you get. I don't think there's any way of getting rid of these kind of donkeys. It's just good that it's
Donkeys.
almost. Well, they
Donkeys.
are essentially donkeys, aren't they? But do you know what? Touching on like that training thing, see, like Ronaldo played 90 minutes or 120 minutes last night at 40 years of age for Portugal.
Yeah.
He won't like jib off training for 6 weeks now because he hasn't got a game.
I'll be
He'll be
training
back.
tomorrow.
Yeah, like that's the thing with boxers that I don't. Evander Holyfield, like he made a reference to it, like it was his full time job that he'd be in the gym for 8 to 10 hours every single day. And they don't seem to do that. I mean, to a lesser extent, where I was training at Shinny's, like they'd have a fight and then you wouldn't see them for weeks, and it'd be like, "Oh, what are you doing?" Like, oh, 40 of week, no, mate, this is your job.
Yeah.
This is your job. Like, what are you doing?
Well,
It's weird.
it's
And that
crazy.
that 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 creates digression in skill sets because you're not working on anything. You're not perfecting anything.
I know.
It's being lost. It's weird, mate. Very strange, but yeah.
We'll go to part
Just
two, kid.
go on, mate.
See you on part
Speak to you in a
two.
sec. Bye, bye, bye.
Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Thank you very much for joining us. And leave a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. I hope you like Ryan's opinion. He's a regular now. I think we've got Andy, who is not from Aberdeen, on tonight. Now, I did a two-part to him last week, and we had to pull it. So, here's what it is. We don't normally pull stuff, but it was a bit too heavy. All right. Pop, pop, bang. Peace out. Anthony, I hope you're well. I hope you're getting yourself in order. We'll have you back on whenever you're ready. Canada Bob will be coming on as well soon for a bit of wisdom. All right. One booyaka.